This is an altered book, originally called 123. I'm now calling it 123 at the Pitti Palace, Firenze. It's a board book I picked up in the street. It was a little torn and worn. I've taken the guide to the Pitti Palace, which included photographs of buildings and photographs of things like this is a crown, and building bits, architectural pieces, and the ceilings with the beautiful angels and stuff. So the Pitti Palace was photographs and images of masterpieces, essentially. And the book itself is, this book is a counting book, so each one is a different fairy tale. This was, I don't know, there's 2 squirrels there, and there's a palace. I think the little girl was getting up, and this was the image of her window. This was originally the 3 Bears house, but I've added some treasures from the Pitti Palace here as well, and some. This was a work. You can see the big bad wolf coming through the. Remind me of the 3 little pigs, actually, now I think of it, because there's 3 houses, 3 little pigs, and there's the big bad wolf through the window. So I've kept some of the fairy tale backgrounds when I think it kind of works. This one was accounting the frog princes. There's a few of them left. This work feels more impressionist than most of the rest of the works that I've used, which are kind of more Italian old. But there it is, and there's some ducks going, or geese, and the frogs running away. This is mostly Pitti Palace interiors. There's one of the 3 Bears chairs, and I think that's pretty much all that kind of sticks out from the original in this one. Then we've got a Jack and the Beanstalk. Here's Jack climbing up the beanstalk, and I managed to find a ceiling ornament that showed a similar kind of view. And then these are Pitti Palaces and etc. Through there, I'm absolutely in love. There's an interior of the Pitti just there. Absolutely in love with the Posca markers I used to do this. I now have every colour they make. This was 8 rats running away, and you can see little tiny bits of shadows of the rats are in there. But I collected a heap of little people. This guy poking his head around the corner of the door. I've added some palaces in the distance. Then this is a Cinderella kind of coach that probably belonged to somebody important in Florence at some point. So turned it into a market scene from 8 rats running away. This one, don't remember. I think they were golden eggs. I've taken. This is a Pitti Palace kind of plan view, and an interior from the Pitti Palace, and then everything else is improved. Or sorry, what's the word? Extended collage, as is this, to bring that across. You see Little Red Riding Hood arriving at Grandma's place. There's a little horse in there I added, but there's the wolf, and there's the town she's come from. This was inside the Red Riding Hood. The wolf was sitting here in bed. I took the counterpane and extended it. I've added a treasure and some angels and an interior of the Pitti Palace. But that's Red Riding Hood now looking shocked at this urn. Again, interiors. This was a fireplace, but I found an image to put in the fireplace because it just looked weird. And this was, I can't remember, Princess looking for, look at all these dogs. It was probably counting the dogs. And there's the Cinderella carriage out the back. This one, I so love the blues in this. A piece of ceiling. Actually, no, that's from a table. And then these are mostly ceiling works, I believe. in pale blue, and there's the princess. There's Cinderella in her carriage with a mouse footman, rat footman. Particularly proud of the way I've managed to extend the greenery here to give a sense that these things are all integrated. This one is the Seven Dwarves. I added some cows, and I added a group over here just hanging out, but I just like the fairy tale bits. This also mostly fairy tale. It was Hansel and Gretel. There was Hansel and Gretel coming down the path, but now there are many more women in finery. These were costumes that were in the Pitti Palace guide, which I slaughtered. And then here was from a painting, women singing at the piano, but I've made it so the witch is also singing along. Nobody evil in here. This is mostly, aside from the window where you can see the witch running after Hansel, I'm assuming, these are mostly interiors of the Pitti, where I've extended pieces. This was a still life, this was a statue, but everything else is kind of ceilings and walls. Another ceilings and walls, but this time we've got little Bo Peep after a sheep and a goose there. This is obviously the Three Bears house because there's a picture of honey. The house with the chairs, the window with, now here's some chairs inside the house, and everything else. I kept her skirt. She had some beautiful red shoes on. There's the red shoes, and her skirt, and I integrated this. There's the wolf running away and some pigs running away. Integrated that into some interiors. A little bit of house from the original in there. This one took this was a plan, a map, a drawing, line drawing, which I've coloured in to integrate it into the rest of the piece. This is the exterior of the Pitti Palace. This is some work from inside the palace. You can still see the counterpane here of the little girl going to sleep. I've added, this is a treasure on the windowsill and the sun, because that's the end of the day. So the original book basically is counted up from 1 to I think 10, then back down again to the end of the day and going to sleep. But my book does more than that. I also coloured all of the tops or the edges of the pages because I could, rather than having them left white. That's the whole book. You can see more at 123-Pitti, the Pitti Palace.